here's the deal. If you want to lose fat and get lean, you have to create an imbalance between the calories you consume and the calories you expend. You have to create what's called a calorie deficit. There's absolutely no way around it. You can forget the diet pills, the vibrating pads, the detox teas, the 6 to 8 small meals per day, the low carb diets, low fat diets. All of that is bullshit. You have to create what's called a calorie deficit. So let me explain. Let's talk about calories for a second. Do you know what a calorie is? I know I never used to know what a calorie was, but I'd heard the word thrown about all over the place. Low calorie this, low calorie foods, calories are bad, good calories, bad calories, and all sorts of other junk. The truth is, a calorie is fictional. It doesn't exist. You can't hold a calorie in your hand. It's a man-made fictional unit of energy. So just like a mile or a meter or an inch, it's a measurement that we use to measure something in the physical world, but this is not a real physical, tangible thing. It's a concept. For example, if you think of a really long, winding road that goes on for miles and miles and miles, we measure the road in miles. The miles are not good and the miles are not bad. They're impartial. They're not even real. They're fictional. The road could be good or bad in certain places. It could have potholes in certain places, or it could have bad neighborhoods, but the miles are impartial. They're not real, but they're just a unit of measurement. So the same with calories. There's no good calories. There's no bad calories. They're just a unit of measurement that we use to measure how much energy is in the food that we're eating. All right, that's it. So no good calories, no bad calories. They're just simply a unit of measurement. All right. So after calories, we've got your three major food types, your three macronutrients, your proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So everything you eat is going to be made up of one or more of the three macronutrients, proteins, carbs, or fats. Everything you eat is going to be one of those, and every time you eat food, you're also consuming the energy in that food, which we call calories, right? So every time you consume 1 gram of protein, you're getting 4 calories. Same with carbs. For every 1 gram of carb you consume, you're getting 4 calories. Now with fats, they have a slightly higher calorie content. So every 1 gram of fats you consume, you're going to get 9 calories. Okay, this is why fats have a bit of a bad name and a bad reputation, because they're so high in calories. So if you're eating a high fat diet, by default, you're going to be eating a higher calorie diet, which is where some people can put on weight if they're not watching what they're doing. Nothing wrong with fats at all. They're absolutely essential for your health, especially if you are a man, essential for your brain function, hormonal functions, testosterone production, and a host of other stuff. So don't avoid fats, just be aware a high fat diet is a high calorie diet. So there's nothing wrong with these foods, nothing wrong with the calories, but every time you eat a food type, you're putting the energy or the calories from that food type into your body. Okay, you don't need to remember these numbers. I just want to get across the concept that every time you eat, you're consuming calories. Okay, right, so let's have a talk about some of the most popular selling diets in the marketplace right now. So let's look at the low carb diet first of all. So we know with carbohydrates, for every 1 gram of carbs you eat, you're going to get 4 calories. So if you remove all or most of the carbs from your diet, you're also removing all or most of the calories that would have come with those carbohydrates. So on the back end of a low carb diet, which what they're not telling you in the books and the diet plans that are being sold, is you're consuming less overall calories. Okay, so there's nothing special about it. You're just removing food, thus you're removing the calories, so you're eating lower calories. Same with a low fat diet. We know there's 9 calories for every 1 gram of fat. So if you remove all or most of the fats from your diet, on the back end of a low fat diet, you're going to be consuming less overall calories again. Low sugar diet. So when I say sugar, for the time being, I'm talking about sweets, junk food, chocolate, donuts, stuff like that. So if you remove all of those things from your diet, you're also removing all of the calories that would have come with those foods. So again, on the back end, you're consuming less overall calories. Do you see a trend yet? Paleo diet. So this is the premise where you remove all of the processed foods from your diet. So if you're removing all of the processed foods from your diet, you're also removing all of the calories that would have come with those foods. So on the back end, again, you're consuming less overall calories. Fasting. Fasting's pretty popular right now, and the 5-2 diet is probably the most talked about one right now. So the 5-2 diet is where you eat normally for 5 days and you fast for 2. So if you fast for 2 days, you're removing food that you would have been consuming for 2 days, 2 days worth of food, so you're also removing all of the calories that would have come with those foods. So on the back end of that diet, you're consuming less overall calories. And a juicing diet finally is where you just eliminate most of your foods and you only have fruit and veg juices. Basically, you're consuming a hell of a lot less calories. So you can see all of these diets are doing exactly the same thing. They've just found a way to get you to consume less overall calories, but they haven't told you to consume less overall calories, because this is it's too easy. You can't really make any money from telling people to eat less food. So what happens is they disguise the truth about fat loss, that you have to be in a calorie deficit, behind these fake concepts, to sell books and diet plans. And people get really religious about these things. They go and tell their friends, this is what works and this is what works, and people are going to argue with each other. But the reality is they're all doing the same thing. They're all just consuming less calories. They're all in a calorie deficit. So that's the truth about fat loss. If you want to lose weight and get lean, you have to create that imbalance between the calories you consume and the calories you expend. You have to be in a calorie deficit. There's no way around it. It's called the law of thermogenesis. It applies to every single human being on the planet. You cannot lose fat or any kind of weight without being in a calorie deficit. It's impossible. So you can do this either through nutrition alone, exercise, preferably a bit of both, but you have to be in a calorie deficit. That's the point. Let's have a quick look at some of the myths that you've probably seen, or maybe you fell for in the past. Stuff like carbs are bad for you, they make you fat. Fats are bad, they make you fat. Sugar makes you fat. Eating late at night makes you fat. You have to eat 6 to 8 small meals per day to boost your metabolism. Then you got your detox drinks, juice cleanses, fat loss pills, vibrating pads, fat burning foods. We've all seen dozens of articles with top 5 fat burning foods. These things are a myth. These things are BS. They're just designed to keep you confused and to sell you these diet plans, which all do the same thing. They put you in a calorie deficit and get you to lose weight by applying simple science. So that's it. That's part 1, the science of fat loss. But there's no way around this. If you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. All right. So in part 2, right below you, I'm going to show you how to create the calorie deficit, how many calories you need. Really simple to work out, and you're not going to have to count calories. There's a free, easy tool I'm going to give you that'll do it all for you automatically. So pop down to part 2, and we will break down how many calories you need to lose weight and get lean.